pleasure and honor to be in your presence. Good luck has followed me throughout much of my life, especially when it comes to meeting and becoming friends with some pretty amazing people, many of whom are in this room tonight. About 25 years ago, I met a young man who was a wholesaler for his family's company. He came to see me. His company's product I was offering to my clients. The company was AGF Mutual Funds, and the young man was Blake Goldring. We became close friends over the years. Several years ago, Blake invited me to join the Canada company for a Captains of Industry Day here in Petawawa. I jumped at the opportunity, and that was my first encounter with the Royal Canadian Dragoons. In March of last year, I found myself at a dinner at Downsview Armory, seated next to Colonel Martin Frank. When I inquired about the pin he was wearing, he told me about the Battle of Leliefontein and explained the significance of the Springbok to the regiment. He also lamented that the mascot at the regimental headquarters was showing its age and was in need of an update. I told him that was easily accomplished, as I frequently went to Africa a month, and I would be happy to go there to bring a new one back for him. 2 days later, I received a call from David Batten inviting me to dinner at the Goodwood Pheasant Club with Colonel Frank and other members of the Dragoons. After dinner, I suggested to Colonel Frank that it would probably be more appropriate if one of the members of the Dragoons took their new mascot rather than myself. David Batten then joined in the project and record everything. Paul Ferretti graciously, generously agreed to pay for the travel costs, and the project just snowballed from there, resulting in the fact that on the anniversary, the 110th anniversary of the Battle of Leliefontein, about 100 kilometers south of the battle site, Corporal Gregory Linton harvested your new mascot. Finally, I'd like to say that I believe the main reason that things like I just described can happen at all is because of you men and women. I and everyone I know will be forever indebted to you for the ongoing daily sacrifices you make that enable us to live in a safe and free society that we do. Thank you.
Part of a military family is a very special experience. It's far more than just being involved in your community, or simply put, a civilian job. A military family is a very complex web of A-type individuals that strive together as an entire being. An Army regiment is a cultural lifeblood that fights, nurtures, mentors, and embraces us all. The Royal Canadian Dragoons have always been my family. It's a great honor to be in a position to share my experiences and continue to contribute to this great family. I'm standing beside Ted Aberbrook and Paul Ferretti, whom I consider, like the rest of you here tonight, very dear friends, simply put, my family. The idea of being able to offer a life-changing experience to Dragoons, Corporal Greg Linton and Corporal David Potter, are terrific examples of all the soldiers this regiment is known for. We embarked on a journey of a lifetime, traveling back to the very roots that catapulted the Dragoons into history books of military warfare. The Boer War in South Africa holds a very unique place in this regiment's history. Sharing these wonderful experiences with Ted, Corporal Potter, and Corporal Linton, retracing the battlefields with a British military historian, was beyond amazing. Studying and training the old battlefields, seeing the old outlooks, OPs as we call them, some still preserved today, pour over the reproductions of the original battlefield maps, while standing on the very same ground our forefathers fought so bravely and heroically, was a memory I and the rest of my colleagues will never forget. Ted Aberbrook is a unique individual. Besides being a very successful businessman, he's also an accomplished hunter. My daughter, Moira, still isn't sure of his trophy room. She says, "Dad, all these creatures are staring at me no matter where I am in the room." Amassed with a grand collection of trophies and wanting to share his life experiences, Ted has a great idea of planning an expedition to South Africa with our soldiers. Paul Ferretti, being one of the finest gentlemen I've had the pleasure to know, offered without haste to pay the airfares for the trip. I, for one, am so grateful to Paul, only recently introduced to the family, stepped up to the plate without any hesitation. Years ago, when I was just starting my commercial practice, I asked to photograph Major General Matt MacDonald. then the commanding officer of the Dragoons, to help develop my portfolio. And in return, I gave him a framed black and white print. A handsome liking of the sir at the time. Most graciously portrayed on his desk was a Springbok. And during the photo shoot, without thinking, I said to General MacDonald, "Sir, could you bring that deer closer to you? It would enhance the composition greatly." The look on his face, hell, he could have shot a bullet right through me from the expression in his eyes. "Trooper Batten, that is not a Springbok. That's not a deer, it's a Springbok." And 20 years later, the journey began, traveling back to South Africa to hunt and return a full-mount Springbok back to the Dragoons. Presented tonight to all of you on such a festive occasion, celebrating the Battle of Leliefontein. It seems very surreal to stand before everyone tonight, this many years later, and present the regiment with such a fine representation of the symbol which holds such a unique history to the Royal Canadian Dragoons. To his credit, Corporal Linton placed a mighty fine shot into this beast, which over the course of tonight and the next few days, it will expel storied tales of our adventures, which will journey into the conversations, myths, and folklore that take hold a unique place in our regimental storytelling. I am, as are all of you, very proud to be part of this celebration. Thank you so much for your trust, respect, and most of all, the courage to explore new avenues which will help us build a better, stronger future.
Paul, David, Ted, we are forever grateful for you to bring this dream to fruition, bring it to fruition quickly, to do it with a couple of our soldiers that are here tonight to present to us. We thank you and we'll display this at the appropriate place in the regimental headquarters with pride. Thank you very, very much for that. Okay.